Section 111 Vaisampayana continued. There was amongst the Yadavas a chief named Sura. He was the father of Vasudeva, and he had a daughter called Pritha, who was unrivaled for beauty on her. And O thou of Bharata's race, Sura, always truthful in speech, gave from friendship this his firstborn daughter unto his childless cousin and friend, the illustrious Kunti Bhoja, the son of his paternal aunt, pursuant to a former promise. And Pritha, in the house of her adoptive father, was engaged in looking after the duties of hospitality to Brahmanas and other guests. Once she gratified by her attentions the terrible Brahmana of rigid vows, who known by the name of Durvasa and was well acquainted with the hidden truths of morality. Gratified with her respectful attentions, the sage, anticipating by his spiritual power the future season of distress consequent upon the curse to be pronounced upon Pandu for his unrighteous act of slaying a deer while serving its mate, imparted to her a formula of invocation for summoning any of the celestials she liked to give her children. And the Rishi said, those celestials that thou shalt summon by this mantra shall certainly approach thee and give thee children. Thus addressed by the Brahmana, the amiable Kunti, Pritha became curious, and in her maidenhood summoned the god Arka, sun, and as soon as he pronounced the mantra, she beheld that effulgent deity, that beholder of everything in the world, approaching her, and beholding that extraordinary sight, the maiden of faultless feature was overcome with surprise. But the god Vivasmat, sun, approaching her, said, Here I am, O black-eyed girl, tell me what I am to do for thee. Hearing this, Kunti said, O slayer of foes, a certain Brahmana gave me this formula of invocation as a boon, and O Lord, I have summoned thee only to test its efficacy. For this offense I bow to thee, thy grace. A woman, whatever be her offense, always deserved pardon. Surya, son, replied, I know that Durvasa hath granted this boon, but cast off thy fierce, timid maiden, and grant me thy embraces. Amiable one, my approach cannot be futile. It must bear fruit. Thou hast summoned me, and if it be for nothing, it shall certainly be regarded as thy transgression. Vaisampayana continued, Vivasvat thus spoke unto her many things with a view to allay her fears. But O Bharata, the amiable maiden, from modesty and fear of her relatives, consented not to grant his request. And O bull of Bharata's race, Arka addressed her again and said, O princess, for my sake it shall not be sinful for thee to grant my wish. Thus speaking unto the daughter of Kunti Bhoja, the illustrious Tapana, the illuminator of the universe, gratified his wish, and of this connection there was immediately born a son, known all over the world as Karna, encased in natural armor and with face brightened by earrings. And the heroic Karna was the first of all wielders weapons, blessed with good fortune and endued with the beauty of a celestial child. And after the birth of this child, the illustrious Tapana granted unto Pritha her maidenhood and ascended to heaven. And the princes of the Vrishni race, beholding with sorrow that son born of her, reflected intently upon what was then the best for her to do, and from fear of her relatives, she resolved to conceal that evidence of her folly, and she cast her offspring endued with great physical strength into the water. Then the well-known husband of Pada, of the Suta caste, took up the child, thus cast into the water, and he and his wife brought him up as their own son, and Radha and her husband bestowed on him the name of Vasusena, born with wealth, because he was born with a natural armor and earrings, and endued as he was born with great strength. As he grew up, he became skilled in all weapons, possessed of great energy. He used to adore the sun until his back was heated by his rays, that is, from dawn to midday, and during the hours of worship, there was nothing on earth that the heroic and intelligent Vasusena would not give on to the Brahmanas. And Indra, desirous of benefiting his own son Palguni, Arjuna, assuming the form of a Brahmana, approached Vasusena on one occasion and begged of him his natural armor. Thus asked Karna took off his natural armor and joining his hands in reverence gave it on to Indra in the guise of a Brahmana. And the chief of the celestials accepted the gift and was exceedingly gratified with Karna's liberality. He therefore gave unto him a fine dart, saying that one and one only among the celestials, the Asuras, men, the Gandharvas, the Nagas, and the Rakshasas, whom thou desirest to conquer, shall be certainly slain with this dart. The son of Surya was before this known by the name of Vasusena, but since he cut off his natural armor, he came to be called Karna, the cutter or peeler of his own cover. Thus ends the 111th section in the Sambhava Parva of the Adi Parva.